Ho ho ho, that's me. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube art channel. I'm back, and it's December already, which means... Anyway, today I'm back with what seems to be a favorite here on the channel. Apparently, when I post sped up videos of me making things, that's when I get more views. I guess people like that. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you like. And what I'm gonna show you in this video is how I made this friend. As you know, I've been selling Santa Claus figurines in my Etsy store. They're still there, all of them. This is one of them, and I thought I would show you the process behind it. This wasn't my first Santa, I think it was my second one. So there's a lot of things that I did on this one that I didn't do in the other ones. But without any further ado, let's just jump straight into the sped up footage.
Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree.
I started by making a face in clay. I wanted it to be chubby with a big nose, big cheeks. I put some eyebrows and a mustache, but they didn't quite come out as I wanted to in the mold that I made after. This mold in plaster. I covered everything with cardboard. I made a little box with the face inside it, and then I poured plaster into it so I get the negative image. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best way to do it because I put Vaseline all over the box and the piece and everything. So when I put hot glue to glue it to the base of the box, it didn't glue because Vaseline and glue don't go together. I know that now, but I didn't know that then. So I had some trouble taking the face out of the cast, but then I was able to do it and it was all fine, and this is the final cast. That's how it looked. After this cast was done, I had to fill it with paper paste. I didn't quite know how to do this at first, so I just put plastic on it before I put the paper paste, and I tried to, with my fingers and my hands, to mold it into the mold. The final result wasn't the best, so the face was a bit disfigured once it left the mold. So I tried to fix it with a stick and paintbrushes and all the tools I could find around the studio. Obviously they're not professional tools, but I did my best and I think it turned out quite okay. Again, this is the first face, or the second one, that I did for the Santa Claus figurines, and I know it's not the best, but it's me trying to get somewhere with it. Obviously they all end up having the same face because it's the same mold for every Santa Claus, but what's different about them is how the face is stretched onto the chicken wire structure that holds it with the body.
Santa Claus is coming. I'm the big fat man with the long white beard.
Speaking of, the body was made from chicken wire structure that's covered in tape and a cardboard base, and then everything is covered with paper paste. There's not a lot to say about this. It's a long process. Obviously I don't have it all here. I just have the first layer of paper paste. After this one dries, I put another one, the details like these white things and then the gloves. Before I put any paste on, I cover it with PVA glue. The process is quite simple. To put paper paste on something, you just need to apply it and then beat it over and over again with your fingers, like
gently beat it,
and then make it as smooth as possible. I didn't want it too smooth because I wanted something rustic. In the beginning, I didn't know how long this would take, but it took a long time for it to dry, and at some point I was looking online and I saw that some people tried the microwave to dry the paper paste, some people tried the oven. After trying to put this one in the oven and everything went alright, I embraced that technique and it helped me produce a lot more in a lot less time.
What's that? A hat? Crazy funky junky hat.
After the body was done and dry and completely dry, I would attach the head to the actual body. Again, it was a structure made of chicken wire with tape covering it, and then PVA glue onto it before the paste, and then I'd make this kind of head that's kind of similar to every Santa Claus figurine. And then again, the details of the color and everything that I missed on the first and second layers in the body would be put on in this stage. Here I am putting the beard. The beards are also different in every figurine. Some of them have textures, some of them are just straight beards. This that I'm doing right now is the hat. Again, wire structure with tape and then PVA glue, then paper paste, and glued it to the head. I had to do this after everything was dry, so I waited for the body to dry, I waited for the head to dry, and then I had to wait for the actual hat to dry. The thing with the hat is I didn't know. Well, I did know, but I didn't think too much about it. It didn't happen on this particular one, but it did happen on 2 other ones. Once I put it in the oven with the hat because it was glued to the head with hot glue. Because of the temperatures in the oven, the glue would all melt. So if you're ever doing this and drying something in the oven that's got hot glue in it, remember that the temperature is gonna melt the glue. This is the result after all the paper paste is done. I had to wait for this to dry again. I put some more details that are not showing up here yet.
Of my boots, the boots and me.
And after this was done, I started making the boots. And this is maybe the most extensive process. These were really small boots and most of them are really small. So I took a lot of time to make them. These are all made from a cardboard structure, and as you can see, my hands are really big and those are really small boots. For them to gain a certain shape, I had to mold every single piece of cardboard into the shape that I wanted to, and then I had to glue them together with glue gun. Let's just say it wasn't the easiest process, but it does turn out to be a pretty cute thing. It's one of those things that I look back and I don't really know how I made them, but I keep making them. I just zone out for a bit, and when I come back to myself, I've done it. It's done. I didn't even think about it. There's a lot of little straps and a lot of things that have to attach to the other ones, but when you come to it, it's quite a simple process. You just need to get used to it and do it over and over and over again. I thought this one needed boots. Not all of them have boots, as you can see on my Etsy store, which the link is in the description below, by the way. And here you go. These are the final boots made in cardboard. Then I had to cover them with tape again. This was actually a really hard process as well because they're hollow, right? So the tape goes into the boots, but you don't want that. So what I did was I put some newspaper into the boots so it wouldn't collapse. And then for this to work with the Santa Claus that's made of paper paste, I obviously had to cover them with paper paste. Again, PVA glue, paper paste, and then trying to mold everything into the boot. Here I am just trying to finish the boot off with some string. I think this was one of the few ones that I actually used this string on. I think it turned out quite alright. I just didn't do it anymore because it took a lot of time.
Give him a shake and just beat the devil out of him.
Painting these was quite fun. It was actually, I think, my favorite part of the whole process. In the beginning, I used this Vioshen or Vioshen or however you say that in English. I actually have no idea how to say this in English, but it's basically a brown pigment that darkens words, but it can darken anything else that's used on. And I painted every single Santa Claus in brown. So every color that I put on it kind of stands out more than it should. I painted these in different layers. I think the most important layer is this red one. This is a mix of 2 reds and 1 brown, if I'm not mistaken. This is the first layer of red. And then the white, the same thing. The first layer is just white, just a plain white, no mixing, no anything, it's just white. For the head, for the hair, for the beard, for the mustache, for the eyebrows, for everything that's hair basically, I mix different colors together. I think it's like yellow, brown, and white. And that color that I use for the hair and the beard and everything else, I paint on top of the white. And then I use white to paint on top of the head and the beard and the mustache and whatever. For the face, I wanted this sort of skin tone that's not too white, but not too dark. It's just an in-between. I put some red on the nose and the cheeks because obviously it's quite cold in the North Pole, and I think they just looked cute with these. Some of them you can notice more than others. These eyes were just something that I came up with on the spot. I thought, well, these look good, and then I started making them for all of the Santa Claus figurines. They're all different, but they all have the same kind of expression and the same face and the same colors, I guess. Here I am painting the heart. This one has a heart, other ones have trees and different things. And then I put yellow in these little spots so it would shine a bit more and spark a bit more. I don't know. After all of this was done, I started giving it the final red coat, which was just red, simple red with no mixing, no anything. After the painting and everything else was done and dry, I put some varnish on it. This is varnish in spray for woods, actually.
It's been 84 years.
this is the final piece. I'm quite pleased with it. I think it's quite different from everything I've seen, and that's saying a lot because I have a collection of around 300 something 400 Santa Claus figurines, so I guess I can say I'm quite an expert when it comes to Santa Claus figurines. I think that's gonna be it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like it, subscribe, share it on all your social media. I really appreciate it. If you want to buy a figurine like this one or even this one, and all of these figurines are with free delivery, don't forget to check my Etsy store. The link is in the description below. I have other things selling as well. I have little monsters that I made for Halloween that are still on sale. I have also recently started some sort of advent calendar over on Instagram where every day I release one activity brief and I try to respond to it, and I post my response to Instagram. To see what that activity is and to maybe do it yourself, you can go to my Etsy store, and I'm selling the briefs for £1 or €1 depending on where you are in the world. This is actually not true anymore. I did put the first 6 activities in my Etsy store and you can still download them, you can still buy them, but from now on I'll only be sending the activities through DM. So if you want to know what the activity for the day was, or if you want to do it yourself, just DM me on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever, with your email, and I'll send the brief to you, and then we'll figure out payments. And you can do whatever you want with them. You can print them, you can download them, and just have fun. I wanted to do this to keep doing something while the month goes on, but I also wanted to show some of my backstage work to people. So many of these activities are what I've done in the past, what I might do in the future, how my head sort of works. I hope you enjoy those activities, and without anything else to add, I don't think, be happy, keep creating, and keep your hopes up because you never know when things might happen. Bye guys.